right, everybody, welcome in. Let's look at the Twin Flame Collective right now. Let's see what's wanting to come through, what message wants to come through for you. If you're here, the title undoubtedly had something to say to you, so let's follow it down since I don't know what the title is yet. Let's see where we go. All right, Twin Flame Collective. If you're new to my channel, welcome in. My name is Mary Jo. We look at all things twin flame, spiritual path, and try to get clarity on what's ahead. So let's see for you, my darling. Oh my goodness. Wow. This card has come out a couple of times in the last 24 hours, and I have not ever gotten this card before in this deck. This is the Gaia deck. Let's see. This is the Gaia deck Oracle. And that has not come out for me as much as it is right now. This is a 9. Sadness, an ending, and a new beginning. Moonlight Goddess. Repressed emotions, healing, and reflection. All right. So there is some trauma, some information in you that is showing up as part of the reason why you're in the twin flame journey to begin with. A lot of seekers are drawn to the twin flame path because of past trauma, past life trauma. And right now it's all about healing. So there needs to be a sense of release and letting go, and then opening up to healing and reflection. And I feel that's how love can flow in. I almost feel like this is a reflection of a lost love. Not necessarily the twin, but what can be here is a very subconscious connection to the past life soulmate that you have here, past life soulmate that is still in your experience, that is either causing difficulty with the twin flame, or it is the twin flame and it is a karmic lesson that needs to be learned right now. Okay, this is part of what's being asked of you. Sadness, an ending, and a new beginning. And what happens is all these repressed emotions come out. Everything is then able to be seen in the light of day. There's some trauma here that is being shoved down, and it's trying to be healed through the sense or through the love or the expected love of a twin flame. So for example, if there was an abandonment in childhood, the idealness of the twin flame connection is the thing that's bringing you in. It's the thing that's catching your attention about twin flame. It's the thing that is you're seeking to heal by being in this twin flame. Now, that's not to say that there is no twin flame. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you are part of this twin flame journey. But before anything can be worked on in the twin flame connection, the reason you're drawn to this path is because of past trauma that needs healing. The twin flame is actively awakening you to that mission of healing that past trauma. So that's why it exists in your life. Okay? And it's this sense of this perfected type of love that keeps you going toward it. Because that pain is so deep and so overwhelming that I can't look at it directly. I have to look at it through the lens of another person so I can do the healing work. Do you know what I'm saying here? That in order to look, you cannot look directly at the sun. You have to look at it through the moon in order to really get, in order to not be scared away, to not be overwhelmed, to not be totally destroyed by it. You cannot look directly at it. It must come to you. The healing that needs to come to you comes through these indirect sources. There's some healing that needs to happen right now. 4 of Cups, Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine, and then the connection here. So Divine Feminine, death. transformation. The Chariot, Six of Swords, lots of beautiful moving forward energy, strength, King of Pentacles, Ten of Cups, and Knight of Cups. So some of you are knowing what I'm saying is true, that one of the reasons that you first recognized the twin flame connection was because of a deep sense of loss around, it's not even an actual love. It's like a belief in a love that is so perfected that I can't let go of the idea that that doesn't exist in the 3D. I can't kill my hope. I cannot put it over there and say, well, I know you had trauma in your, infancy or in your childhood or something like that. And that was the love of your parents, the love of, you're so open and so beautiful as your first few years of life, that the trauma was so incredible that it needs something equally as incredible to balance it. That is the reason why the twin flame connection has not really gelled or come together, because first of all, that's a lot of pressure to put on another person to heal all of your past traumas, right? That's why it's up to you to do that work. That's why we say doing the work is really the journey. Doing the work is really the path here. And I think that shows up a lot for me in listening to a lot of different people trying to get the answer that you want, or that, I'm not saying you, but like trying to get the answer that you want to hear. And it leaves you empty because it's not really the answer. There is a courage that's required here of divine feminine to get to stable love. There is a courage required of you to face a previous trauma, or letting go of something that you thought was critical to your life's happiness. Letting go of a trauma from childhood, letting go of a lost love, letting go of, giving something an ending. And the twin flame, it's not really their job to balance this out. But I feel divine feminine will balance it out for themselves, okay? By going through this transformation and bringing together these two horses, right? In this deck, the Chariot is about the two horses coming together. This is Cancerian energy. And so Cancerian to me is much more nurturing and feminine than what this card shows, or what a lot of Chariot cards show. Very dominant masculine energy. It's almost like it's asking you to, if you're looking for the feminine nurturing, it's asking you to balance it with the masculine type of nurturing, which is like, okay, how can I help you? How can I embrace you and help you move forward? And it's not a tough love thing or anything like that. It's just a different quality. Okay. It's an angel right now. An angel is showing up to give you a different quality of love that is actually a healing thing. You might have been kind of swamped by a kind of nostalgic love instead of a thriving, growing, this is showing up now, moving forward into the future kind of, we're talking about very linear timelines here. But I think there's a lot of looking back here and getting stuck in the past. And I think it feels to me like in this connection, there's a feminine who has lost love or lost a sense of their own capability, even lost confidence in themselves, or is not sure what to do next, and is ignoring, in many ways, the one thing that will actually help, which is releasing and letting go of certain circumstances that are going on right now that are keeping you in the past. Whatever is keeping you in the past, it's time to let that go, okay? It's time to release that. It's time to release that past because we are moving forward. Chariot and Six of Swords. It is going to require courage, but I feel like on the other side of this is, and I've been saying this for weeks, on the other side of this is something so much more rewarding, stable, solid. It's not built on the nostalgia of the past. It's built on a tangible. There's King of Pentacles here, and we are in a lot of earth energy right now with we're in Virgo season. There's the new moon in Virgo. There's the North Node in Taurus. There's Pluto in Capricorn. It's asking us, especially Divine Feminine here, to make some real tangible progress and to release anything that is, I'm going to say, a belief or an idea or a hope that comes from the past. It's really time to clear the slate here. Surrender, healing, release. Okay, so let's see the masculine energy. It really coming through so strong. I mean, I can barely, like, it's one word at a time. It's almost like, I don't know if you ever heard that story. Was it Maya Angelou? I think it was. And she was, when she was a child, she was, out in the fields with her mother, and she felt a poem coming through, and like a train, she called it like a train bearing down on her. And she ran back into the house and pulled it back in one word at a time, backwards. Pulled the poem back in backwards. I think I remember that story from Maya Angelou. It's showing up for me right now. It's sort of like something is bearing down on you like a train, like a freight train, and you're having to do the opposite. You're having to release it and pull in the train one word at a time or one experience at a time. Divine Masculine, Judgment, wake up call here for masculine. Knight of Wands, the Two of Pentacles, Hierophant, there's Taurus energy. There's the Six of Swords again. I like it. Seven of Wands, the Knight of Swords, and the Death card. My. So we have some energy here in the masculine of the masculine is moving in too many different directions. So it's kind of similar to this. See how the feminine is trying to rein in the two different directions and go in one direction. In this deck, that Six of Swords, you're on your own kind of thing. But in the masculine's version of that, you're together. Okay. So there's a sense here of the masculine is going in too many different directions. Knight of Wands and Two of Pentacles. Too much scattered energy here, and the need to sort of rein that in. Boy, lots of horse references here. The need to rein that in. And this is also about traditional, to create something traditional. So much King of Pentacles, Hierophant energy, so much about the tangible expression of life. But really the thing that's catching my eye is that there's a massive transformation happening in this connection, in the collective here. And the collective is seeing that the feminine is working on moving forward and releasing the past, releasing any kind of disappointments or hope, releasing a false hope. It feels like that to me. The masculine is having a situation where they are trying to balance a lot, feeling very overwhelmed, feeling very scattered. And I feel eventually the masculine just says no to, right? They're at a crossroads in time when they're like, okay, the thing that is the most struggle for me, that is the thing I'm leaving behind. So whatever that is, it can be leaving behind traditional things, right? We're leaving behind the past, we're leaving behind traditional things, but it doesn't mean just because something is earth doesn't mean it's tradition, it needs to be left behind. Earth is about creating something tangible now. Now that we've left behind something that's become brittle and not working anymore, the masculine is like, okay, I feel overwhelmed. I feel like I'm going in too many different directions. I just need to focus on the direction forward. One direction, unified, Knight of Swords. And that brings in a transformation here. Okay, that brings in a big change in their life. So let me see about the connection. This is kind of a different reading. The energy of it feels very different to me. All right. There's definitely an ending and a new beginning. I almost feel like, well, hang on. Let's see what the connection is about right now. What is the connection about? Tower. Seven of Pentacles, King of Cups, Seven of Cups. So this goes like this. One, Magician, Judgment again, Justice, and the outcome is the Four of Cups. What's being asked here is that I feel like the connection gets lost when we're living in some kind of fantasy world about it, some kind of hope that is, I'd rather live with a false hope than with a certainty of ending, or I'd rather live with a false hope than with a real clarity about a particular direction that maybe I'm afraid to go in. It doesn't mean it's not good for me. It most definitely means it's good for you. But it's like a direction I'm afraid to go in, because does that mean I have to let go of this? Does that mean I have to not be part of a really incredibly powerful love connection? It's not asking you to do that right now. What it's asking you to do is look more consciously at those things in your life that are prohibiting you from moving forward in this connection. And you'll find a lot of them have remnants or tie back to losses or loves in the past. Afraid that things are going to happen again. Afraid that I'm going to get hurt that way again. Not wanting to do the healing work of trauma that is trying to come up right now. And I do feel like the only way forward is to deal with this situation that it's like Mount Vesuvius that needs to erupt. It needs to come out, and invest some time and energy into that, because that's what this Crossroads is all about. It's about manifesting a balanced life. And if we stay too long in this Four of Cups energy of like, well, this is what it's supposed to look like, and I'll be damned if I'm just going to release that this is what it's supposed to be, right? And I'm promised this kind of elevated love, and I'm feeling disappointed because that means I got to really work on all of my junk that's trying to show up. I'm really disappointed in that. I don't want to do that. I want to focus on something more positive, right? Something more hopeful. Now, I think what's being said here is that's backwards, okay? That's backwards. It's like trying to get away from past pain or anything like that is what's keeping you in the past. So the more you can focus on the fact that being strong and being courageous and being resilient and doing the work and everything like that, the lighter things get, the lighter this opens up, and the less the masculine is resistant, the less it's about clearing some kind of resistance based on, the masculine is definitely going in many different directions right now, trying to figure out their grounding. And they want to move forward in an important way, but the block is the lost love from the past. So I think I'm going to read you this: lost love, surrender, healing, and release. I want to hear what what Tony Carmine Salerno, awesome name, has to say about this, because it does feel a little bit like we're getting stuck in a spin cycle. All right, a little bit like that. It's normal to feel sad when a relationship or friendship ends. Yet this healing card has shown up in your reading today to let you know that everything truly does happen for a reason. Trust and accept that higher forces are at work in your life at the moment, and that your soul is guiding you towards ever greater love. You may not feel it at present, but you're surrounded by an ocean of love. You're loved more than you will ever know. There is little point in searching for answers. Accept things as they are. The truth is what is, yet it is also what was and what will be. There are no mistakes. Everything you experience has a purpose and is meaningful. All is part of a higher plan for your life. Every day is a new beginning, yet nothing is ever lost, for life is an endless cycle. Love is eternal. So I feel like that's the thing here. Since we have the death cards here playing such a prominent role, I really feel like it's the death of this way of being, trying to busy yourself with what you hope to achieve or expect to achieve so much that you're not in the moment. I feel like that's a big important part of this reading. So the divine masculine is trying to move forward but goes backward because they're scattered. They're putting energy in a scattered way. It reminds me of, I don't know how many of you are Scooby-Doo fans. I mean, this seems like totally weird to say this, but you know, when Scooby would go in a million different directions and he would like 6 different Scoobies, we all be tied to his tail, and then he'd be like, woo, all the way out and then all the way back. And he's like, I'm going in different directions, but I don't actually get anywhere. That's because there's a big old block here. There's a big old block to progress that needs to get blown apart. And the big old block to progress is to release these past disappointments, surrender to the sense that in a 3D experience, you are going to find love, you are going to be part of this love, and the sense of this miraculous kind of otherworldly experience is putting too much pressure on the connection. It's creating a sense of distractedness. It's creating a sense of, I don't know what direction to go in next. So what's being asked of you here is to get yourself, put yourself in a place where you're more patient. All right, more patient. You're tapping into your heart. You're willing to go toward the things that are confusing, the things that are feelings that are being bypassed. Maybe there's a lot of spiritual bypassing going on here. I do get the sense that we are at a crossroads here with the Judgment card showing up twice, the Judgment card showing up twice, the Justice card, which is balance, and mostly this. The crossroads is at hand. All right, so let's see where we go with this. If you want to continue, if this is your reading, the crossroads are at hand. If you want to continue on, I'm going to continue on. There's a link below. If you're part of our Twin Flame group, rest of the reading starts right now. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.